Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen Igaldoto, Madam CS, and this is The Striker. The Striker today reads us to Kremoni Educational Center in Mombasa County. My dear viewers, a young boy aged 13 years old, a grade 7 pupil, is nursing kidney injuries and genital injuries at Madaraka Hospital after being flogged by fellow students, and there are allegations that some teachers were involved. The reason being, he ate an extra portion of chapatis, which is against the school rules. And this incident comes barely a few weeks after 5 girls from Mugoili girls were expelled home for eating extra portion of weekend pest meal, chapati and some chicken. Now, I'm seated here and I'm looking at this young boy. I'm trying to imagine what life will be like for this young boy after he leaves this hospital, after recovering. Will this boy ever want to be near an educational institution? Will he want to interact with fellow students? Will he want to hear the name teacher? Because which teacher allows fellow students to flog a pupil? Like a teacher, you allow students to flog a pupil. Like you combine high school kids and primary school kids to flog a class 7 pupil? Honestly? And then the funny thing is, the school head says that it was just a student affair, that no teacher was involved in the caning. Now, let's listen like this, guys. Where I studied and having I've trained as a high school teacher, I know that the teachers on duty always divide themselves in a way that whenever there's serving of meals, there's one teacher who has to be there and see how the process is run, whether the students are behaving and so forth. Now you are telling the public that this was a student affair. Where were the teachers? And if it was a student affair, why did it take 1 week after hospitalization of this young boy for you to inform the mother that the boy is in hospital? What were you waiting for? What were you hiding? And I'm saying this, guys, many times we talk about let's introduce corporal punishment to schools, and the older generation of individuals tend to see introduction of corporal punishment as the only remedy to the current cases of indiscipline in our schools. But I'm seated here and I'm trying to imagine, how is legalizing corporal punishment going to impact on these students in terms of being beaten in school? Because honestly, while we have teachers who are very rational and teachers who take students as their own children, we also have teachers who release their stress on children in school. There are those times you get that a student has messed in class, and then he's told by the teacher, go and kneel in the staff room and wait me there. And then another teacher who doesn't even know why this boy has come into the staff room just picks a cane, why this child has come into the staff room kneeling, just picks a cane and starts beating this kid. I know most of you have witnessed cases of mass beating in school. Like a teacher comes from nowhere, he or she doesn't know why you are being beaten, but the fact that other colleagues are beating you, all his colleague is beating you, all her colleague is beating you, she takes that cane and continues beating you. He doesn't understand why you are being beaten. And we have seen cases of this mass beating, like every teacher wants to beat a student, and you even don't know why this student, for the first case, for example, is in this staff room, all is being beaten. I don't know whether once you finish the beating, you start asking the teacher, by the way, Why were you beating him? Or why were you beating her? It has reached a point, I know some institutions have staff room as out of bound. Like, if a student enters into that staff room already, that's a mistake and you are being beaten. You know, I don't advocate for indiscipline cases in school. But how do we, the kind of punishments we give to students, are we improving this? Are we making these students improve in their lives? Or we are making them to be rebellious, denounce school, repel going to school, resist studies, and they even become more worse. We have had, you know, those boys, like all those girls who are beaten every day in school, like they have been beaten until like they have gotten used to it, and there's nothing you can tell them about it, because they know what is the worst you can do, beat me, right? You know, we have students who have developed that attitude. But now I'm feeling it's getting out of hands when even mere food is becoming an issue that teachers, you want to punish students because of food, and the kind of punishment that you are giving is a punishment that intrudes into human rights. I'm sitting here and I'm asking myself, could you as a teacher want your child to be beaten the way that boy has been beaten to an extent of being hospitalized? Could you? You could not. You can't beat your own like that. But you are quick to let other people beat somebody's son or somebody's daughter to that extent. Why is it that some teachers take their stress to students? For example, is it hard that this school could have said, you have eaten 4 chapatis, you will not eat chapatis, you will not eat even a single chapati for the next 4 days? And you know that punishment could have served that child so well, because he will be watching others eat chapati, or he could be receiving small pieces from his friends until he realizes that actually what he did was wrong, and he will not do that. But now you have beaten this child, hospitalized to an extent that is being hospitalized. You are already traumatizing the parent. That hospital needs a bill to be paid. This child has lost a lot of hours from class, already has psychological trauma. Nobody knows whether he will even love school once he leaves that hospital. Nobody knows the injuries caused on this boy, how they are going to impact on his physical development and later life. You know, so you know some punishments we give on kids. Sometimes a child does something wrong, you punish the child, the parent. You want a parent to bring 10 packets of unga to school because a child has eaten extra food. How will that show this child that he did a mistake? Because that punishment doesn't impact on him in any way. You know, you go punishing the parent. You go sending these students out of school. They miss a lot of hours of study in between. And then you want to subject them to the same examination. You know, I think a lot is happening in terms of punishments in our institutions. And sometimes we may be blaming parents so much why they are against physical or corporal punishment in school. But it's because they have seen what actually other parents are doing. Other teachers are doing in school, actually, in terms of beating students. So for me, it's a call to the Ministry of Education. Please, yes, we want discipline in our schools. But can we have all the stakeholders involved to discuss this in terms of what disciplines, what mechanisms can be used to instill discipline among students? Throttling people's children, beating people's children as if they are thieves, as if they are terrorists in school in the name of punishment, it is abuse of human rights of the greatest order. And the director of education coming to say that even the school doesn't meet the requirements of being a school in terms of hygiene is a joke of the highest order. So why has been Gregon Educational Center been running and operational for all these years? Where was the Ministry of Education for all these years? Honestly, we need an honest conversation. And the teachers, please, stop unleashing your family stress on other people's sons and daughters in school. Don't do that. It could be your daughter. It could be your son. Don't release your stress on somebody's child. Don't do that. Teaching is the only calling that you can be cast territory because of some of the things that we do on our own kids. It's not good. Otherwise, my dear viewers, drop your views. Do you think corporal punishment should be brought back to school? Do you think that the kind of punishments that are meted on students in schools actually are helping them in terms of improving anything? Do you think what happened at Gregon Educational Center in Mgoil Girls was the right thing? What did you think? Drop your comments, share your views, like this video, and give it a thumbs up. Signing out, the CSTV, Madam CS, you are a girl tutor, have it raw and real.